Good day, family, fans, friends. If you're still tuned in, I suspect that it's fair enough to call your family a fan or a friend. Starting to feel like we're in this together. So when we left off, I was grinding into the ceiling, and then I ground down a bunch of the walls. Something I kept from you, and it's bugging my conscience, is when I was up on the scaffolding, grinding that score line down to put the furring strips up on the ceiling, the grinder became bound between the edge of a piece of wood and a nail, and it just froze up on me, came flying out of my hands, and hit me right here. And I thought, well, how embarrassing, especially me being Mr. Know-It-All, giving you my philosophy and thoughts about work and conduct and skill. I had a horrible incident, so I'm not sure I really want to show you this, but there it is. Okay. So I'm going to spare you the gruesomeness of it all. So last night I came in and I did some sheetrock, compound and spackle on the cracks. I was anxious. I'm not done with all the grinding, and I think I'm going to just stick to grinding, even maybe move out of the room and just stick to grinding for a while. But it's nice to break up tasks after 3-4 hours of doing the same thing with a sander in your hand. If you can get deviate away from that and do something else for a little while, it mixes things up. Okay, so let's take a look at this old house. I'm in the master bedroom upstairs. These stairs are coming out. I think I've mentioned that. It's going to make this floor area, I'll be able to seal that up. It's going to make my kitchen much, much bigger, and we'll get into that another day. But here we are. This house is really, really growing on me. This is the master bedroom, and I really can't wait to be able to occupy this room. The whole town, the whole neighborhood, this whole county, and all of the northeast of New England is just steadily, day by day, growing on me, and I'm loving it more and more. Real quickly, that mattress, I've got to get help to bring that up the stairs. I attached these ropes right here you see hanging from the baluster. I tried leveraging it with that 2x4 over there, with a shovel, with a long handle, and using different props and tricks to try to get that up here. It's not that it weighs 150 pounds or more. And yes, it weighs that much. It's an incredibly heavy mattress. Heavier than it looks for its size, despite the fact that I think it's a California King. But that sucker's floppy. And so I lift up one end, and it's like lifting a dead body. It just flops all over the place. It's like loosey-goosey, driving me nuts. 3 times I've made attempts. And I've had to concede that I just can't handle it. I've got to get some help. Okay. Bathroom, bedroom, center hallway. Let's come on in and take a look. You recall we had created artwork with our stripes, and I real quickly want to show you a little bit about the grinding technique that I know I introduced, but I'd say I probably perfected it to some degree. Oh, you're looking at the patching that I did with spackle and sheetrock. I do want to focus just real quick. I picked up grinding right here this morning, and I haven't filled in yet right here. And I just want to bring up one thing about grinding technique with these plaster cracks. With a new crack, we would follow the crack at a 90-degree angle, and the wheel will slightly follow it on its own, but you do have to turn it occasionally and keep following the crack. So you've gouged it out. Now you'll notice I didn't have to go crazy going deep. I just want the loose stuff, and I just want to make a little indent, especially where the material is looser, and the wheel will find the looser material. It'll grab and pull at it, and you'll hear the motors, kind of, it'll take a bigger bite where it needs to. So you kind of got to go lightly and use finesse. I had a real fine crack here, as you can see. So, and I did make a little line over it. But, you know, listen to your tool and the material. Be intelligent. Came back at about a 2 to 3 degree angle. I came back, and you follow up the line, as you can see here. I've done every crack in this entire room that way, and I made a dish along that line. Why do we make a dish? As you can see, we use the same technique everywhere. If I only filled that little crack, how much bonding surface is in there? You know, 1 millimeter on either side. However, I opened it up and I've got 10, 12, 15 millimeters. I've got a 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. You know, I expand the contact area by 10, by 6, by 8, by 10, giving me a better bonding surface. And let me use a nail hole as an example for you. I had a simple nail hole here. If I had just plugged the nail hole with compound, I would have that tiny hole. The inner walls of that hole would be the contact surface. By putting a little shallow dish in here, I've expanded that by 10. So when I put on my sheetrock compound or spackle, I will have the little plug filled, and on top of it will be a head, kind of like a nail head, holding that thing into the surface. There's a few nail holes here. So you just go along with a little rub-a-dub-dub. Make sense? In fact, I'm standing in front of a crack here, and you'll see I widened this out. This one got pretty deep. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up on it, but it got pretty deep. I could probably make a bigger dish, but I went in on an angle. After going on a right angle, I then on a right angle to the crack. I then took my blade and I tilted it maybe 15 degrees, and I went down both sides, following the crack, and then 15 degrees on the right hand side, following the crack down. You know, again, it's a deep crack, this one. So the idea is to just get a greater surface contact area. I should have scalloped that edge a little more. Sounds like, you know, I'm explaining the obvious, but there's a certain finesse to the most simplest of tasks that makes the difference between just some guy slugging it out on a wall and somebody, you know, goes to bed at night knowing they're an artist about even the smallest and simplest of things. I think it goes so far as to even make you a happier person. Is that possible? All right. I did come out into the center hallway. Did begin grinding here, and as you can see, there were some really big cracks that I wanted to clean out, because I don't want these cracks repeating themselves. This one was nasty. There's another one over there. And I got to a point where the rest of this is a lot of peeling paint, and I'm going to come back with another tool, which you'll see me do probably tomorrow. I may get on it today. All right, be well, friends.